how do we get better hook rates? How do we test hook rates in Andromeda without screwing up $500,000 worth of campaigns? Last week, I said we're going to be testing something. I think you actually came to the idea before I could present it, which is what about boosted posts? So the boosted posts. So I said, we're going to be testing that. And we did. So we had a whole bunch of boosted posts, but only one had video in it. Look at that hook rate.
Wow.
We purposely, for everyone that says AI videos are dumb, I don't like AI videos. Well, we paid like $7 for this video, and it was an AI video.
There it is. It's one of the 10 types of ads.
Exactly right. All right. So on to a quick little update. This is fantastic stuff in updating. We have two little overlapping updates between hook rate and feeder. Oh, it's coming together. It's amazing.
I'm excited.
So we did a couple things, hook rate and feeder. The first thing we're going to talk about is
it's only like last Friday, by the way. So this is like an update of an update.
Yeah, and this is actually, if we look at this, is just going to be the last 7-day update, actually, which is kind of cool.
Killer. So just tell people what you're doing here, just if they missed last week's show. Just exactly quick overview. Yeah.
So we developed feeder strategy. Now, feeder strategy for Google, people have seen before. It's a way to use standard shopping and Performance Max to have the two compete and talk with each other in order for us to steer a more powerful, larger campaign that can vary off the rails, called Performance Max because it's a black box and you have no control. Feeder strategy allows you to use external campaigns in order to drive more people to the tag/pixel in order to manipulate the larger amount of spend into a specific direction. So think of it like you have a room full of people and there's 50 people in that room and you're talking about glass jars. Okay. And so I say, hey, 50 people, I have glass jars and these glass jars are amazing. And the 50 people are like, wow, we love your glass jars. And now I'm just talking to this here. And I'm like, you know what? I really want to talk about, my other glass jar called lemonade. I don't know if people are interested in lemonade, but people like glass jars and water. So how the hell do I take these 50 people that are just interested in this and be like, have you seen this? How do I sell other products with Andromeda when ad spend is dictating and creative is dictating what people are seeing?
Just don't spell that on your computer, will you?
I know, right?
Otherwise the show's over.
If you see this slip out of my hand and my screen goes black, you'll know that I just messed everything up. But so we basically say, okay, this is what Meta wants to spend on. We said, well, what if we start an external campaign and we start bringing people in this way? So now I have someone out in the show right now, as I'm speaking to my 50 people, bringing in people that are like, hey, John, these people are interested in lemonade. I'm like, oh, okay, great. Maybe about 10% of my speech is going to be about lemonade because 10% of the people that just joined want lemonade. And so now I'm using feeder, which is the dude out in the hall grabbing people that are interested in lemonade and saying, you got to hear this speech. That's exactly how this works in a humanistic variable. So Meta is the pixel, which is the room. Us advertisers using creative fill the room with people who are interested in whatever creative they're clicking on. You bring in new diversified creative, grow the room, which is ad spend. And those people are now, we have two products that we're selling. We can grow them by pulling these levers on feeders.
Right.
So the cool part about this is we said, well, let's test this a few different ways. So we did do two separate individual tests. And I wanted to showcase you these tests because this is actually like pretty definitive. So first thing, this is our joint campaign. In the last 7 days, what we said is we want to add in ad spend into our joint product. So we raised it up 413%. Went from $1,300 in, oops, sorry, 1 second. Let's see. This thing's getting overlapped. Sorry, everyone, real quick. I am stuck in my chair in my head. There we go.
You had to change out your headphones last week.
I know. I have this gigantic cord that just gets wrapped around things. Okay. Yeah. So we said we're going to increase our ad spend by 413%. We went from $1,300 to $7,000. So let's just put that on the calculator real quick. We're saying, okay, we added 5,704. Perfect. We're going to set that off to the side. Now, I have another column over here that I'm going to add. And the column that I did have before that ended up going away is called Joint New Customers. So the joint new customers is right here. And I said, if I add in ad spend to the feeder, my main campaign that has joint products in there and also has better attribution than this one, this feeder runs on 7-day click. The all products runs on 7-day click, 1-day view, 1-day engage view. Why? Because this one has higher ad spend, has the ads. So if I bring anybody into the room, this campaign's going to start talking to them. That's how that works. Yeah. And so if it starts talking to them, I want them to know that they're right. So I allow the attribution to go there. I'm just leveraging the way the algorithm works. So we said, okay, the main campaign here has had 1% change in spend. This one increased by 400%. So we look over to the side and we see we have 118% more joint new customers. Where are they coming from? Well, it looks like my feeder campaign brought in 15, and then my main campaign brought in another 13. Perfect. Exactly what I want. I don't care where they land. I just want them both to equal 118% more. Okay, so let's pause there and just validate. Let's just verify. So in the same time period, let's go last 7 days here, which is not including the previous period. And then we're going to compare that to the past previous period, last 7 days. Remember, we added $5,700 to joint. So we move that off to the side. And let's go down to our joint products. We don't sell a lot of products here, as you can tell, and we're only marketing on Meta, which is why it's controlled. There's my joint, and my joint went from 35 up to 59. Okay, so let's throw that now in the calculator. So if we have 59 down to 35, 59 minus 35, whoops, we have 24 incremental for 5704. So let's divide the 5704 divided by 24. They come in at $237. So $237 for a new customer. Well, if I go to my media tracker, which tells me what I am spending on per customer right now, that 235 is below the average of 315. Excellent. So now I'm bringing in more new customers at a cheaper cost than my main immunity product, and we're doing this with feeder. Now let's go over to the this is my joint right here, my joint product, and let's go to like the last, let's go to the last 30 days. Okay. So because I also want sales, we also want subscribers. So in the last 30 days of my joint product, and we we scaled up the joint campaign on the 10th, or like right before the 10th, because we cranked it up right then thereafter. But around the 10th, the joint here. So we have this kind of move up here. We got the plateau. Here comes the 10th. There's my new subscribers. Went from basically 395 up. Excellent. Wow. So we see a nice little blip up there. Okay. So let's say we did this, and that was in the joint. Now let's do this. What about our digestive? We ran a digestive feeder before, and we ran it for a specific time between November 16th and December 6th. We've tried this before, but we thought it failed because we're looking at this incorrectly. So in our digestive feeder between November 16th and December 6th, where we paused this, we have to look at our digestive here. Well, that is November 18th right there. We started the digestive feeder on November 16th. November 16th is right
there
here.
Yep.
And then we ended it on the 6th, which is here. So what's nice about this is we were running at a plateau, started here, ended here. So we have plateau, horizontal line, kind of a plateau with a little blip up at the end. Okay. So not only have we seen this inside of Meta, inside the feeder, exactly as we want, inside the top line, measuring by new customers in Shopify, and inside of our tracker with all of our new subscribers, I don't know any other way to showcase that this works.
And December 7th onwards, like no more feeders paid search. No more feeder paid ads. You stop them entirely.
On the digestive, because we switched over to joint to say, can we see the digestive stop, and can we see the joint pick up? And that's exactly what we saw. It went from plateau, rising, pause at plateau. The other one went from plateau, turn on, rising, and it's basically we have our levers now.
It's basically just a full correlation.
It's a plug and play.
Yeah.
It's sell products on command.
It literally, almost changes like the day after you launch the campaign. That's incredible.
It's interesting how there is a little bit of time lag we noticed, and
it's like not a day though.
Well, this is the 16th when we started. We got like 1, 2,
okay.
3.
Right. Yeah, a couple of days down, and then all of a sudden, boom.
Yep.
Just kicks
Here's the issue: is this line is actually fighting a push and pull. So the blue is our new subscribers, and the red's all of our cancellations. So this may kind of waffle a little bit if we brought some new ones and then it got smoked here. So that's the reason why there's a little bit of a dip. But then we were able to attribute much more new than returning, which just kept this thing looking like the SP 500 on a macro view. It just goes up.
Yeah. Well, even like after you stopped spend, it's still on an upward kind of sort of trajectory. That 339 to 351. It's not. I don't know if that's clinically relevant or statistically significant, I guess is the question.
Right. You know what's funny is this thing kind of moves sideways and all of a sudden it's like, hey, why is it moving up over here? Like, this is kind of weird. All of a sudden it started again in this time period here. We actually backdated that now to our third feeder test. And this thing is going to be really, really cool. We actually have something called a CPL. CPL, we've actually started to market the CPL inside of here. And the CPL is our 3-pack. So, hey, do you like our immunity product? Now you can get immunity, joint, and digestive all at the same time. Once we started pushing those, we noticed that this plateau started to increase again.
Nice.
Because those products are in our campaign. So our third and final test is going to be, we have our immune product, and that is fantastic. We tried joint, we can scale joint. We tried digestive, we can do digestive. We then tried all three, and all of a sudden all three works. So now we're going to have a main campaign that primarily sells immune, and then we're going to have a feeder of our 3-pack. So you like this product. Have you seen or tried the other 3? Like now we're going to see, can we just scale everything at once with 2 campaigns? That's the next. If we can do all products scale at the same time, that's going to be gold. So
well, plus your average order value is going to increase too, because they're buying 3 all at once.
That's our ENCAC target. Exactly. ENCAC target increase, and the LTV will also increase.
Absolutely.
Yes. I
didn't realize you had a 3-pack on that one.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Like each one of the, what is it? It's immune. It's
digestive, immune, and joint.
Okay. So those are the 3. And the immune is the one that's like the flagship.
Exactly right.
And it's the other ones that you're trying to get some momentum going to obviously get new customers, not just on immune, but the business goal here, like we mentioned last week's show, is to get subscribers on all of the products, therefore making you as a business that much more attractive and valuable from a valuation standpoint for a potential takeover at some point in time and buyout where you're going to be buying brand new plaid shirts all the time.
Exactly.
And getting new headphones. So
I know I got new ones. But that's right. Like this 3-pack here, like this solves for a lot of issues. Like I'm only selling X in Meta. Like for the people that are like, wow, my Meta campaigns seem to sell a lot of X product. How do I get it to sell anything else? This is the answer. And it's going to evolve and continually change and adapt and modify. We have like 3 more tests that we're going to run. But I mean, I don't see anybody else being able to even understand yet control and leverage Andromeda as fast as we can. Like this is fantastic. This
is so cool because I love the 3-pack.
Right?
Because the AOV is just killer. Because now I don't know if you figured out like what your new ENCAC is on that 3-pack. Or what it needs to be. I would imagine it's higher than 210, 250 and around that range, right?
It's unknown at this point because we didn't really understand which campaigns we're using the 3PL. Like it was kind of like our leftover. We only had 6 ads kind of thing running. Okay. So they're always just kind of a part of catch-alls everywhere. But all of a sudden, as soon as we saw spend starting to increase on it, then we see everything starting to increase. We're like, holy crap. What if we have a lever for product A, product B, product C, and all of the above? Like you can't ask for anything more. It's literally like, what do you want to sell? Well, sell more 3-packs. We crank it up. Like it's pretty simplistic.
And now, that's on recharge too. Are the 3-packs on a recharge?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. They're showcased individually, but they are on a recharge. Yeah.
Got it.
So check this out. This is something I thought was really unique. When we look at the hook rate, remember when we talked about the importance of hook rate?
Yeah.
Well, in the previous strategy that we ran, the previous feeder
hook rate, just if you weren't on last week, hook rate is you stick around for longer than 3 seconds.
Yep.
To read the ad, oftentimes it comes with a click and all these other sorts of things. So anyway. Exactly
right. It's basically is the amount of impressions divided by the people that saw more than 3 seconds of that video. That's how much hook rate is. So 37% hook rates means 1 out of 3 people stop and watch it longer than 3 seconds. Now, remember what I was saying, like hook rate deems everything. Everything is now spending on hook rate.
Right.
Meta wants 2/3 of your video or 2/3 of your creative to be in video format. You have your reels, your statics, and your videos. And your videos and your reels should be 16:9 format. I forgot what it was. Or 9:16. I forget ratios.
9:16.
Yeah, 9:16. So you got your videos and you got your reels 9:16. Then you have your statics. But you want a hi-fi, lo-fi, but still you have to have 2/3 video. We understand 2/3 video now because after examining all the metrics that deemed to control spend the most, hook rate was the highest indicator of success. So when you see this descending again, you can see half my spend on product A. Typically it's like, oh no, this one's spending half the spend. Pause it.
Yeah.
Well, that one is getting 43% hook rate compared to literally everything else. So pause your best hooked ad for a less hooked ad. And that's why this shit doesn't work anymore. It's because we pause what works. Spend, it dictates all. Hook rate dictates spend. Cool. So now that we know that we're leveraging it, but check this out. We knew that our joint had a good video in there. It worked. We worked well with the previous feeder. We tried it with this feeder. It failed miserably. And that's when we said, okay, hook rate. So this last feeder that we're running, this is the best hook rate. We made a concerted effort, and this hook rate is the best. And it's also beating the ENCAC in this all product campaign we're spending $500,000 on, because this hook rate sucks. So yes, hook rate is going to be something important. So how do we get better hook rates? How do we test hook rates in Andromeda without screwing up $500,000 worth of campaigns? Last week I said we're going to be testing something. I think you actually came to the idea before I could present it, which is, what about boosted posts? That was you, or is that? Yeah. So the boosted posts. So I said we're going to be testing that, and we did. So we had a whole bunch of boosted posts, but only one had video in it. Look at that hook rate.
Wow.
We purposely, for everyone that says AI videos are dumb, I don't like AI videos. Well, we paid like $7 for this video, and it was an AI video. And so,
oh my God, there it is. It's one of the 10 types of ads. AI right there, John.
Exactly right. And remember when we found out that people really want to know stories about animals? Yeah. Well, comfort starts from the inside. My 2-year-old is peppier. She feels better. So we basically just started to have this little animated dancing thing with the puppy, and we're just talking about all of our sophistication. So we're like, let's just test it out. And it actually is working pretty well. I think people do like the animated puppy because we're going after dog owners, and people really want to know why.
Cool video, though.
Exactly. Like, yeah, right. My 2-year-old is peppier. Like, what is this? Like, so that's how we hooked them. They want to know the story. 78% hook rate, 2% cost per view. Now, will this actually average out into anything great when we start to focus on conversions? Who knows? But when we just said boosted posts, and if you're just alive on Wednesday, you like this video, 8 out of 10 said yes. That's good enough for us to now throw it into the main campaign and say, let's see how this works. Let's see if this is something that is going to work well.
My only criticism of that is that you're getting video watchers as opposed to potentially converters. It'd be interesting to see if you put that in a conversion campaign, because that's like video view through play, right? So are you just getting people to watch the video, but then they're never going to buy, even though you've got an insanely high hook rate?
That's we're going to find out.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out that in the next. Yeah, because it's
cool because you have
tried that so long ago. I had this great idea. I'm like, if we could just get people to watch videos, and we had hook, like this is before hook rate. We were doing it manually.
You probably said back then, if we could just hook them,
we could just hook them, then we can sell them. But what we found is that all the people that were watching videos, because we put on a video view campaign back then, were just video viewers, but not converters.
Exactly right. And that's kind of what we're seeing is like, we may find out that if the video viewers are over 70, that may average out to a hook rate of 30. Like, we don't know what that will degrade to when we take it from pixel of just happy people to like, these are our buyers. Yeah. That's what we're going to find out, which is exactly a test. Now, the hook rate being 80%, so far so good. How this equates, if we can identify a consistent static drop in percentile points when it switched from viewers to converters, and we know that there's a basis, like it usually drops 30. Now we have a benchmark target for our hook rate on boosted posts, and it's only costing us $5 to figure this out, which is great.
Which is cool. You know, but at least you're finding out. Like, that's a video that you want to test. You want to put into a conversion campaign because it passed the sniff test on the video.
It cost us $5 to get 500 views on it.
$5, which is about what you spent to create it, apparently.
we do animated videos and testing all for $10.
All for $10. That's pretty sick.